Hi, it's Monday. Welcome to another reading vlog. This week we are reading, finishing a couple of things for the end of the month, including 2 Tor.com novellas because I felt like it. But we're not going to do that today. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. We're also working on When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey and The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. And I also just started the audiobook for Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chupeco. So once these 2 are done, we're going to be focusing mainly on authors, Asian authors, which is what Wicked As You Wish. Obviously Rin Chupeco is a Filipino author, so we're already starting on that front, but we're going to start some physical books by Asian authors as well once these 2 are finished, in preparation for Asian Readathon at the start of May. And yeah, that's the plan. This is I was talking about this last week, but this is a orc fantasy, but it kind of reads more like a wizard elf fantasy. I don't know. Very episodic though, so I'm interested to see how the plot of this plays out as a whole book, if that makes sense. And When We Were Magic is a found family witches-y kind of, but they don't really call themselves witches, at least not at the phase of the book that I'm at, which is like just maybe a quarter in. But magic-y found family friendship group. So that's that. Wicked As You Wish, I don't honestly know what that's about, but it's currently got a lot of like culturally diverse people, including our main character Tala, who is Filipino, in an Arizona, but the US has a monarchy and magic, and honestly I don't know the plot, but I'm here for the ride. Hello, once again it's morning and I look a hot mess, but hey, I didn't update you last night because I had like the lamest night ever. It was fun. I was on FaceTime with April and Paige for most of the night, which was great fun, but I did like 0 reading. I was so easily distracted. I'd started off trying to listen to The Unspoken Name in the evening and I got through like 3 pages. I tried to listen to When We Were Magic. I tried to read When We Were Magic and I got through a whole 20 pages. And then Sissy came and sat on my lap for like the first time ever. I'll try and remember to insert some footage here. Guys, I am blessed.
Oh my gosh.
What is this? Look at this purr. Oh my gosh. She reserves this for breathing. Oh. We're done, or are you just getting comfy? Oh, I'm just repositioning. Oh. And I honestly, I just couldn't. And then I was tired. So then I went to bed. So I didn't really read much in the evening after I got back from work. But so all up I read like 20 pages of When We Were Magic, 100 pages earlier in the day of The Unspoken Name, which I'm really enjoying. I don't quite understand why people were DNFing it. It does have an interesting narrative structure. I kind of know a handful of people who've DNF'd this. It does have an interesting narrative structure where it's kind of episodic. It kind of feels like a 4-part HBO miniseries. And it is split into 4 parts, where each part has its own narrative arc, but they all then also build up. Does that make sense? So it feels like a HBO miniseries, and I'm freaking enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. So I'm, yeah, like halfway through, and I probably won't finish it today. I'll probably end up finishing it tomorrow, but I am enjoying it a lot. And I would definitely recommend it. Though maybe the audiobook is helping me push through it, because it definitely does have a lot of weird character names. It's one of those classic, like the spellings are pretty hard to get your mouth around. So I think being able to hear those is definitely helping me. And that might have hindered my experience if I was just reading physically. I'm not loving When We Were Magic as much as I wanted to. I just feel like it hasn't got the tone and vibes I was expecting. It's much different, but it's fine. And then I also read a Tor.com original short story called Ecdysis, which I really liked. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was about like shedding your skin. It was weird as, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm also a quarter of the way through Wicked As You Wish by Ringe Baker. So we're enjoying that as well, but I am so confused about the world and the plot. I'm just taking it as it comes, but it's very interesting. I'll try and explain it in my next clip because my camera battery is telling me it's dying, so that's fun. I haven't updated since yesterday morning. I just got out of the shower, so my face is like red. But I didn't read as much yesterday as I would have hoped, but I did have a lot of work to do, and I did get through a lot of work, so that kind of adds up for that. I did read Come See the Living Dryad, which was the second of the 2 Tor.com short stories that I was talking about at the start of the week. I loved this. I gave it 4 stars. It was just so good. It was a like mixed media format, I guess, story focusing on like the real lives of people who ended up in like freak shows, specifically a woman who had the condition that causes like the tree bark kind of growths, and I loved it. I did get through like 100-ish pages of The Unspoken Name, so I've got about 100-ish to go. I'm definitely going to try and finish that today. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but I'm also going to try and finish When We Were Magic today, but I got a lot more left of that. I'm about halfway through, so I've probably got like 150, 180 pages left of that. And I do have a decent amount of work I have to do today, so I'm going to start this morning cracking in on this, and then I've got some housework to do where I will listen to Wicked As You Wish as we're going. I am really enjoying it, but it is a little nuts. I'm just like here for the ride. And then yeah, that's my current plan. We'll see how today goes. I feel like all I do are Barely in Focus, bed, hair, morning updates, but hi, we're here again. It's Thursday morning. Did I even vlog at all yesterday? Questionable. But I did finish The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. I ended up giving this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I kind of I can see why people might DNF it, but like I don't agree. It definitely reads, as I said I think earlier in this vlog, it reads like a HBO miniseries, like a fantasy miniseries where there's like 4 episodes and each episode has a build and a like well-rounded plot, so that changes the pacing of the novel as a whole. But this is super fun. It's we follow Ksoi, who's an orc priestess who's the bride of the Unspoken Name, and so she's been chosen to essentially like die for this god. Unspoken Name's a fancy god, and it's this world where there's a lot of gods. It's kind of like a whole lot of like parallel universes, but they can gate between them. That part of the world is super fascinating, and how all these different like worlds connect, and there's dying worlds, and it's very expansive in that regard. And Ksoi gets like whisked away just before she's about to die by a wizard, Sathenai, and she's kind of then he trains her to be like his assistant. But it's much more broader than that. Apologies if y'all were looking at the poppy seeds in my teeth. I just had breakfast. Yeah, it's much more expansive than that. It really goes a lot further. And I don't know, like I don't want to give anything away, but it is very different, I think, to a lot of maybe what people were expecting from it. It does have a slow burn-ish female-female romance. I wouldn't say it's too slow burn, but like it doesn't get there till the end, but like they also don't meet till like almost a third of the way in. And they kind of fall for each other pretty quickly. So yeah, it's very, I don't know, I loved it, but I do think there was not plot holes, but like unexplained world stuff. And the reveals were not as clever and twisty as they could be. So I've got a 4 stars. I think this is a debut though, so I'm definitely interested to see where this author goes in the future, and I'm definitely keen to read book 2 in this series. So, hey, we love that. We love to see it. I'm also going to get cracking into finishing When We Were Magic today. I think it's actually tipped over the side of my bed last night while I was sleeping. But I'm going to be working on that. I also got a little haul this morning. I got Cream Buns and Crime, which is a collection of short stories and like different tidbits, and Jolly Foul Play, which is book 4 in the Murder Most Unladylike series. So this is like 3.5 and 4.5 and then 4 kind of thing. I'm gonna read book 3 for Believe-a-thon, and I really wanted to also be able to pick up the 3.5, so we wanted to get that on board. And then I was like, you know what, while we're doing it, we'll just get book 4 because I know I love the series. So yeah. Also, finally, after a huge wait, Ruthless Gods arrived in the mail. So I'm glad I didn't try and hold out to read this for hours, because I only got it today, and today's the last day of the month, so it would never have been read in time. It's like a 500-page beast. So I will probably be reading this in June, but hey, it's kind of gorgeous. I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. Oh, I just filmed my wrap up and put all my books away that I read in the month of April. It is now the 1st of May. I am a whole, that was Trixie sneezing, I'm a whole like 30 pages to Night of the Dragon, which I started today. April and I are buddy reading this, about 100 pages a day, so I have much more to read, but I'm going to be working on that presently. I'm also 50 pages into Wolf of Oren-Yara, which I started last night. I'm really enjoying this. These are all for Asian readathon, by the way. And I'm also 50 pages into Anna Kay, which I'm really loving. I'm listening to this and reading along on audiobook, because the audiobook is narrated by Jenna Ushkowitz, which I'm loving. So I'm definitely keen to read more of all of those today. I want to try and read a whole bunch. It's now like 2 o'clock. I do have to go to the supermarket today, and I have work at 11 tonight. But other than that, it's a pretty chill afternoon. I did all my work, like uni work this morning, so I'm a bit chilled out for the afternoon, and I'm going to try and read a bunch. Focus on my face, please. Hi. Reading update. It is Saturday. I filmed this morning. It's now like midday. Actually, it's almost like 1 o'clock. Haven't read anything but a bit of an audiobook. But while I was doing my like dailies on Animal Crossing this morning. But here we are. I'm about to crack into reading. I've got work for like an hour and a half this afternoon, but otherwise we're a free agent today. And I thought, I'm kind of into a bunch of things, so I thought I would tell you about them. I also finished something last night, so I'll tell you about that. So actually I finished it this morning. I finished Wicked As You Wish by Ringe Becker this morning. I decided to give it a 4 stars. This is I'm listening to it on an audiobook, which is why I haven't really talked about it much, but it's like a alternate history fairy tale fantasy, which deals a lot with like myths and legends and fairy tales. And we follow Tala, who is half Filipino, half Scottish, and she has a power where she like negates other people's magic, and everyone has magic, but all kind of like different abilities and stuff. And her family is looking after the Prince of Avalon, and Avalon's been kind of locked off from everywhere else, and the king was killed. The king was killed, so he's kind of been like protected and kept protected by Tala's family. Sorry, I'm having a hard time describing this. And then they're essentially going on a mission to, like, on a big adventure to get him back his crown. I loved all the references and the way the myth and fairy tale were made a part of, like, the history of the world. It's set in, like, Arizona. And the way that was all put together was really cool. I think I do want to buy a physical copy and maybe reread it at some point. Because I feel like there are a few bits where I missed just listening to the audiobook. Like, I might have tuned out for 5 minutes and missed some dynamics that would have been really useful. But overall, the writing style was really fun. I definitely want to continue the series, but I think I would continue it physically. But I loved the world. It was so fascinating. So I gave it 4 stars. Then since then I've started Thorn by Intisar Khanani, which is my next audiobook read for Asian Readathon. I'm hardly into it, so I don't have anything to comment yet on that, other than that it was a self-published release that's since been picked up by a major publisher, like a big 5 publishing house, I think. I'm 100 pages into Anna K and really enjoying it. It's so dramatic. It's very drama. It's like Crazy Rich Asians, but teenagers. And I don't think they're all Asian, but our main character Anna is half Korean. And it's a lot about, like, the interactions of all these posh rich kids. And it's very dramatic and I'm loving it. So I'm 100 pages through this. I'm listening to the audiobook at the same time, loving that. Though still really, it's kind of early stages and all the dynamics. It's a lot of, like, this person's interested in this person and this person's interested in this person. It does contain a lot of underage drinking, drug use, sex, dramatic toxic relationships, but mostly it's all drama. Like, it's not graphic per se, but it might be triggering if they're, like, things that particularly upset you, maybe. I'm also almost 100 pages into The Wolf of Oren Yara by K.S. Blow, so this was another previously self-published book. This I feel like is just getting started. I guess as a big fantasy series, it's a bit slower paced. And it's a lot about, like, it's much more politics. I feel like the action's about to kick off, but so far it's been a lot more political machinations, which I'm enjoying, but it's definitely slower paced. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's about to pick up. And then April and I have also been buddy reading, so I'm 100 pages in, and this is what I'm going to start in on now to read the next 100 pages, is Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. I'm freaking loving this. It's so much fun. This series is fast-paced, fun. I love that it reads like a adventure anime. Like, I haven't watched enough, like, actual, like, made in Japan anime, so I don't know some good comparisons from that, but, like, the Western made anime, like Avatar and, like, Ruby, this really vibes with those. It's got a lot of the same, like, really dramatic stuff going on and lots of, like, big action scenes, and then, like, these interjections of, like, one-liner comedy that I really love. And it's very, like, action sequence, calm down of, like, episodic kind of nature within the series, within each book in this series. And we've just started the end of this last, like, yesterday's component was just the first chapter of part 2, so I'm excited to crack in and really get diving into where we're gonna go with this. This is the last book in the series and I'm just, like, so hype. Anyway, that's where I'm at with everything I'm reading. For now, I'm gonna try and kick through the 100 pages of Night of the Dragon now. I have work for like an hour and a half at 4:30. It's currently like 10 to 1. So I want to get through like 100 pages of this and maybe 50 pages of this before I go. I would like to read 100 pages of everything today, is where I'm at. but we'll see. We'll see. So, oh god, my hand is red. I have a gorgeous kitten here who's gonna sleep with me. I think she's still a little bit unwell. She's had the snuffles. She's had a cat cold. You can probably hear her snoring. A little snore. I didn't read as much as I'd planned to today. I ended up having to take a little shift at work. I filmed, which took up some time. And then tonight we watched Drag Race and played a card game for a while. So really, I haven't done as much reading as I planned. I planned to read a whole heap like we were talking about earlier, but it just didn't happen. I ended up, yeah, drag racing and card gaming instead. But I have read a bit more of The Wolf of Varnyar. I haven't touched Anna Kay, but I have been listening to a lot of Thorn by Inti Sakanani, which I'm enjoying. I'd say, I don't know exactly where it's inspired by, maybe Morocco. And the princess has swapped bodies with like a nobleman's daughter. And she'd been previously abused, but the nobleman's daughter is like nasty and trying to up her ranks to marry a prince. But we've barely started that, really, like percentage wise. I'm gonna go to bed now, but I'm gonna set my alarm for the morning so I can try and get as much reading as I can before I start work at 4:30. I'm going to focus on my section of Sword in the Stars and then Anna Kay, because I can take Wolf of Varnyar to work, but Anna Kay is a bit more complicated to take to work because I can't really listen to the audiobook while I'm there. So that's my plan, but for now I'm going to go to bed with my beautiful kitty and we're going to have a nice sleep. Isn't that right, Trixie? Isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah. Good night. Hey yo, it's 11 Sunday morning. I've read a whole chapter of Night of the Dragon this morning. I'm gonna crack into this more, but first I'm gonna edit my book haul, which I filmed yesterday, and get that processing. My plan for today, I start work at 4:30. My plan is to finish today's section of Night of the Dragon, which will get us like 3/4 of the way through, and then spend the rest of the time to working on Anna Kay and trying to get as far through it as I can. And then I'm going to take The Wolf of Varnyar to work with me, so I probably won't get to any of Thorn today, but that's fine. I'll work it out tomorrow. But yeah, so that's my current plan. And yeah, to try and get through a whole heap of Wolf of Varnyar while I'm at work. Oh, we'll see. I'll probably get distracted watching MasterChef again, but yeah, I kind of want to prioritize Anna Kay, try and get through a ton of that. But first we're going to get through the section of Night of the Dragon. But first I'm going to edit. So April and I finished, why am I not in focus? Far out. Why is this going from bad to worse? So April and I finished our section of Night of the Dragon. In fact, April got a bit further because she's silly. That burp was very aggressively timed. Things went down in the last section. I'm a little emo. As a trope I'm not a huge fan of for reasons, but which I'll talk about in my wrap up. But it pulled it off alright, but I'm still offended. It was like, I felt emotional about it. It did what it was trying to do, but I'm offended it happened. It had to happen. Like, all decided to include it anyway. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. There's like 90 pages left. April's got like 60 pages left. I'm gonna read that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm emo about it. I'm on page $2.99. Anyway, for now, I'm going to plug in my headphones and work on Anna Kay. It's like almost 2 o'clock, so I'm going to try and read as much as I can before I go to work, basically. Yep. I don't have any strong feelings about this other than general enjoyment yet, so we'll see. This section might, like what I read today, might illuminate some more feelings from me, so let's see. So it's now Monday evening. I didn't update this morning what I read last night. I took The Wolf of Arnyar to work with me and I read about 60 pages. So we're on page, oh, I did read a little bit of that today. I've read like a chapter. We're on page 239. And then I might as well, it's Monday, but I'm going to include some stuff from today in today's vlog, and then start a new one tomorrow, I think, because I'll be editing this tomorrow. Today I finished Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. April and I were reading this together. I never given this 3 stars. It was really fun, but the series is like fun but cheesy, so it ended up, yeah, being 3 stars. April and I both agreed the epilogue was gorgeous, but like the actual like climax was all very, not predictable per se, but very convenient. But it was fun. It's a fun time. It's a fun series. I only read like a chapter of this morning, which I totally even forgot about. And then tonight I've been working on Anna Kay. I've also read a little bit of Thorn today, a tiny bit, but not much. So I'm currently on page 313 of Anna Kay, so I should be finishing this tomorrow, no problem. So you'll see the end of that in the next vlog. April and I are also going to start our body read of Silence of Bones tomorrow, so that'll be in the next vlog. But yeah, so finished Night of the Dragon. Otherwise we're in the middle of a lot of things. Things might change this vlog, it's a bit all over the place. And I feel like I've hardly filmed anything, but hey, that's fun. I'll see you soon with another vlog. I'll try and remember to start it first thing in the morning. Bye!